PSN down on a Friday night is criminal. Me at PlayStation headquarters cause I wanna play Fortnite but PSN is down. I get home after a 8-hour shift for PSN to be down. PSN servers down soon as I cut my PS5 on. PSN servers down as soon as I spark up. PSN being down on a Friday evening after work.
I'm sitting around doing nothing. Why did it? It's the 5th time this happened to me!
PSN servers down. Thought I was fucking banned. PSN still down? PSN may be down but I'm up. Me looking at PSN down detector genuinely trying to not tweak but it's a Friday night and I just want to play my games. Getting home from a 10-hour shift just for PSN to be down. I just wanted to play some fucking Fortnite. Live look at PSN maintenance department. Kids cry while staring at their phones. 2011 PS veterans. PlayStation Network down. Time to get to know my wife for 5 years. If PlayStation Network's still down in the next 24 hours, I'll give everyone that engages with this tweet $50. Yeah, fucking right, Stu. Bet you all want physical copies now. Not from GameStop, fuck you all. Yeah, let me go to my local GameStop and grab some physical gear.
So the weekend was certainly eventful. PlayStation Network was down for almost 24 hours. PlayStation gamers were fiending at the nipple in order to get their Friday Fortnite fix. Everyone coming home from a long week's worth of work and finding out that
no gaming session with the boys tonight.
And of course, this was sending a lot of PTSD signals of PlayStation's infamous and largest in history network outages from 2011, where Sony got breached. The personal data for over 77 million PSN accounts was leaked, forcing Sony to shut down PSN for 24 days. It didn't quite reach the 24-day mark, it was only just on a day, but still, people were certainly not happy about this one. PlayStation basically explained this as being some kind of operational issue. Good old Jerry in the server room tripped over a cable, and all PlayStation Plus members will receive 5 additional days added on to their duration. Not bad for just 24 hours. Still though, you can't take away from the Friday Fortnite jam with the boys. That's like ruining a tradition. On a tradition. However, the PSN outage actually created some additional conversations, which was sort of more of the focus of this entire situation. Not the fact that the boys can't play Fortnite on Friday like they always do every single week, but more so the negative of digital media. A lot of people were reporting that basically they couldn't access their games because PlayStation Network was down. And we're not talking multiplayer games, we're talking single player. And this was definitely making the rounds, especially with GigArc right here saying trying to play a single player offline game in 2025 met with an error. Now, to explain what is going on here, no, you absolutely do not need internet connection for any single player game that is downloaded onto your PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, whatever it might be. This issue arises when the account that's trying to play the digital game in question that's already downloaded is not the primary account of the PlayStation system. So if we're using GigArc here in this example, basically, the PlayStation 5 that he's using to play whatever game it is not the primary of the system, meaning that he's currently account sharing with another PlayStation system. This is pretty much to stop people from sharing their accounts around, allowing their friends to download their account and to download their entire library of games, because if you don't have internet connection, it means that the PlayStation can't validate the license to prove that you actually own the game. It's sort of a version of DRM to a certain degree, but you don't need an internet connection to validate the license if you are the primary account of the PlayStation system. So I think this is where a lot of people were sort of getting confused, because obviously there was a massive outrage about this, to the point where GameStop kind of used this as a means of, alright, we can like kind of jump into the fray and start talking about physical games. And then of course GameStop got ratioed down to the bone marrow. Now look, I am 100% about physical. I love physical, right? I will always prioritize buying physical, and it ruins me to know that Perhaps maybe not for the next generation of console, but we're looking for the one after, whatever the next Xbox will be called, or PlayStation 7, we're likely looking at having no more physical media. I would say that the PlayStation 6 will sort of be a similar situation to the PS5 Pro, where the disc drive is completely optional. And as much as DRM makes sense for the companies who own these games, no gamer likes DRM. No one likes the idea of having to be connected to the internet in order to play a single-player game. We are veering so far away from the old school way of just simply putting a disc into your system and playing. That entire dynamic is sadly being erased. So as much as I think people were blowing the whole trying to play my single player game, but I can't because PSN is down, was sort of being blown out of proportion, to a certain degree, it is still a very strange and haunting and kind of terrible thing to see. Something else that also caught the attention of many was this post right here from Graham mentioning that he basically can't use his disk drive as he needs the internet in order to register it. So for anyone that doesn't know, if you're using an attachable disk drive for PS5 Pro or the PS5 Slim, this is batshit crazy, but you need an internet connection in order to register the disk drive so, it can actually drive discs. It can work as a disk drive. And I remember finding out about this prior to purchasing my PS5 Pro. I thought it was just the wildest f***ing thing ever. Of course, there is some sort of digital layer to something that is physical. It is insane. If you think about it though, it makes sense, kind of. The reason why this is in place is so that we don't have third-party disk drives being manufactured by other companies. So basically the only disk drive that you can use is Sony's one due to the license validation that is required when you set this thing up. But yeah, this person couldn't use their disk drive because PSN was down, so there was no way for this guy to even validate his disk drive to play his physical collection of games while PSN is offline. I think it's just genuinely stupid. As much as I kind of get it from Sony's perspective, it is genuinely stupid that there is some form of internet required in order to use something physical on my console to play physical-based games. Madness. I hate the future we are going towards. Nothing beats going down to the store and grabbing one of these bad boys, looking at the back pictures, being like, wow, cool gameplay image, nice little synopsis. I need 90 gigs. Woo! These are the companies that are responsible for said video game. Wow, nice cover art. Monkey. Plastic. Not that we really get manuals these days, but we do have little pamphlet things of the same picture again and again and again in 72 different languages. But see, physical tells me that I physically own the game. This is mine. I can touch it. I can taste it. I can smell it. I mean, it's mine. I can do what the fuck I want with it. It's not some license sitting on a server that lets me know, hey, I can download that. Let's be real, Sony servers are never really going to close. I mean, unless something catastrophic happens, but hypothetically speaking, let's say something happens to those Sony servers. Yeah, your thousands of dollars of video games, gone. You don't own them. In a situation like this, where we're seeing, oh, we can't play our game because we're not the primary account, but we've already downloaded it onto our system, or, hey, you haven't registered your disk drive, will be 86 times worse. I think it was just sort of a bit of a wake-up call towards the digital future that we're staring towards for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of this stuff has been known for a long time. It just hit a little bit closer to home, where we're met with a scenario where the actual server that runs all of this stuff looking at digital goes down, where a lot of people can't play the stuff they supposedly own. Right now, the only company that's doing the whole DRM and digital games correctly is GOG, and this is what they're known for. They have no DRM across any of the games that are listed over on their store, and a good amount of their games, not all, are portable, meaning that you can chuck the installer onto an external device and plug it into another system and just straight up install it. They should be used as the shining example of just how to do digital right. Unfortunately though, the other major corporations that have storefronts would never follow suit with this because this is a prime target for piracy. But then, you do sometimes have incredibly base developers like CD Projekt Red. Marcin Nowinski, the CEO of CD Projekt Red, mentioned that he committed himself along with the team to make The Witcher 3 completely DRM-free. And in this interview, he actually embraced people who were pirating video games, mentioning that for a lot of people, this actually acts as a means of being able to trial a game out, and believes that a lot of people that end up pirating their games, if they enjoy the experience enough, go out of their way to actually purchase it to support the company developing it. He also mentioned that CD Projekt Red would never pursue anyone in court legally towards pirating their games. And while I'm sure there have been countless amounts of pirated versions of The Witcher 3 downloaded, and no doubt also Cyberpunk 2077, these games are incredibly successful even without DRM in place, with The Witcher 3 selling over 50 million units worldwide. So DRM is more of control over the consumer to ensure that the companies are generating their profits. But video games can 100% be successful without DRM in place. So long as, you know, your game is kick-ass. Perhaps, maybe, with the recent outcry of how great physical is, it may actually get some of these companies to kind of change their mind and their stance on the entire thing to prolong their lifespan. However, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you managed to entertain yourself on Friday night, you know, play a little bit of Connect 4, maybe a little bit of Monopoly. I don't know, I know Cornhub was popping off apparently. Hopefully, you remained entertained. Be sure to slap the like if you guys enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel to keep up with everything going on here, and as always, thank you so much to my wonderful patrons. I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day, and we'll talk again real soon.